Hola.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Great. Good. Glad to hear it.
Great. Great. Good. Glad to hear it.
So you had your first day back at work.
Yep. Somebody got fired. That was about it. There's no new news except somebody got fired.
Was it somebody I knew?
No. I think he'd been there 20 some years. 25, 26 years or whatever. Apparently got fired for sexual harassment. I don't know the details, but
So that the guy Denny who died.
yeah.
So you know he got hit for sexual harassment when he grabbed that black chick's tits.
No. I don't think I heard about that.
Yeah, that's why he ended up over at that
When
other.
he grabbed that black chick's tits.
He walked up behind her and said, "I've always wanted to do this," and then
Oh.
got two full handfuls.
How the fuck did he keep his job?
That's not. I don't even think that's as bad as Willie. If you remember him, when he said, "No, you don't." He was talking to that black guy, and he said, "No, you don't want to go over there. They'll work you like an asterisk." What?
He was just trying to be nice. Just trying to be gentlemanly.
It was funny listening to all the people up in the office. You trying to say like, well, you have to understand that's just how Willie talks.
You have to understand. He's from the hills. That's how they talk up there.
You understand that Willie shot his wife's lover with a shotgun shell filled with rock salt. You understand that?
Oh my God. I did not know that. That's amazing. When somebody says their wife's lover, isn't that supposed to be you? Jesus Christ. I think he might be like one of the most hillbilly people I've ever met.
I think I talked about this on here. I don't remember, but he is one of the only people that ever intimidated me.
Really?
And I'm not saying that to be like badass or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't generally get intimidated by people, but he fucking scared the fuck out of me, man, because he was Willie. Like,
Isn't there's like a level where you're like, yeah, I understand that this person is capable of literally anything, right? He could stab me. He might have a knife in his beard and stab me right now and just go right back to work and wouldn't even care.
so I think that he was a vet.
Oh.
Or something. But when I was working third shift and he was working third shift, this is back when I was in production.
Yeah.
I took a box. He was sleeping. He had his head on the break table and he was sleeping. And I came up and I slammed it down.
Oh God.
And I was recording it because he used to like PTSD and freak out and shit.
Oh Jesus, dude.
I didn't say I didn't fuck with him. I just said that he intimidated me. But anyway,
You knew TikTok was coming someday. I'm saving this shit.
so I posted it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then it was like a week and a half later. I'm in the upstairs bathroom in the locker room taking a piss, and he comes over and he leans his arm up against the wall and stares down at me, because he had probably a foot on me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting there pissing, and he's leaning over me, and he's like, "I heard you have a video of me on the internets." I said, "I do." "Take it down." Okay.
That was the end of that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, there
Holy
wasn't
fuck.
just the way he said it. Take it down. I thought for sure he would wear my fucking face in the moonlight.
I could see that.
If you remember, he got his beard ripped off in a fucking drill press.
No, I don't remember that. I barely know the guy. When I first started, I think I had been there maybe a month, not even that. And it was break time. Everybody was at break. I just happened to be walking by his work area, and he like filled his machine with coolant and then went to break and left the machine. And there was a lake, like a fucking lake. And I don't know that I had been there. Like I said, maybe a month, if that. And I was like, not 100% sure where the supervisor's office was. Like, I didn't know I didn't know shit. So I was like, I wouldn't know how to get to where the supervisor is. I didn't know where the radios were to call it. I was like, I just remember like just looking for a main aisle and looking for somebody to tell there's coolant everywhere. I'm like, they're like, why didn't you call on the radio? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not looking to win tickets for anything. There's coolant everywhere.
So, fuck. I was working second shift, and this is back again when I was doing production or working production. And Willie was in second shift. He was in my department, and we had my machine and his machine were like 10 feet apart from each other. So the night before, as I understand it, he was driving home, and it was in the summertime, so it was, of course, fucking hot and nasty and ball sweat and everything. So he was driving home, and he hit a deer. Ugh. And he got out, as all rednecks do, and he threw the deer in the back of his pickup.
It's all rednecks do, right?
And he drove another 5 or 10 miles and hit another fucking deer and threw that in the back of his pickup. So he spent all night dressing the deer in his basement, both deer. Oh. Without taking a shower or changing clothes, he comes back to work the next day.
What the fuck?
And he is just covered in fucking blood, and he fucking reeks because he now sweated 2 days in a row in the same clothes.
Uh-huh.
Plus all the guts and everything.
Oh, my God.
And the funk coming off of this fucking man. Like, I think it is the only time that I have ever, quote unquote, told on somebody. But I did it right in front of him. I did it right in front of him. The supervisor walked up, and I said, I am not fucking working if I have to work next to that motherfucker, because he fucking stinks. They made him go home. They made him go home and take a shower.
Oh my God. So if you have a job where they can make you go home and take a shower, isn't that weird? Like, that's like, okay, Mom. What the fuck? So weird.
Anyway, so I'm glad you're back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Hopefully I don't get fired for sexual harassment.
I hope you fuck Willie. Grab Willie's tits.
I don't. Does he still even work there? I have no idea. I think he's over at the other building.
I don't know. All right. So I had you watch a video before we got started.
Right.
Because I don't want to play it because there's no sound.
Right.
But it looks like a cerebral palsy kid.
Uh-huh.
So the title of the video is like the reason why high school sports are spectacular or some shit.
I think people don't know what spectacular means.
Okay, so it appears to be a white school and a black school.
Okay.
And the white school has the cerebral palsy kid.
Uh-huh.
And they hike the ball to the cerebral palsy kid, and then he just immediately falls over. So they give him another shot. They hand off to the cerebral palsy kid.
Yeah, like, okay, he can't catch. Let's try to hand it to him.
Okay, so he starts doing the cerebral palsy walk or the crip walk, whatever. Yeah. I think that's what the kids are talking about. But the entire both teams, the white team and the black team, are just like running beside him.
Right. They're just like opening a path for him.
Okay.
What it looked like to me.
Do you think that actually does anything? Like if you were a cerebral palsy kid and your dream is to play fucking AAA high school football in a fucking farm league or some shit.
Uh-huh.
And then you finally get your chance to get out there and you get to score your touchdown, but you are fully aware that everybody is just running next to you.
Yeah.
Like, is that the same as Rudy, like making the team?
No, it's stupid. The whole thing is stupid. Like, it's so dumb. Like, his parents should just tell him, man, sorry, you were born with cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy kids don't play football. That's the way the world works. Sorry, kid. Like, we can take you out and, like, let you run with the other kids if you want, but you have to understand that you're not playing football.
Put a helmet on and I'll throw a football at you.
Right.
Like, how awesome would it have been if one of the kids from the opposing team would have just fucking
just
smashed the shit out of him?
They didn't get the memo that they were supposed to let this kid just run, and they're like, he's got the ball. Just fucking tackled him. That would have been awesome. Now that would have been spectacular.
The reason why high school sports are spectacular.
They tackle the cripple kid. Don't they have like retard sports? Like why? I mean, like they have Special Olympics, right? Like play those. Like leave the football to the high school professionals.
Okay, I never thought about this, but I would pay money to go watch a Special Olympics football. Like all that retard strength in one spot. It'd be like a whole bunch of water boys all on.
You can sell tickets to that. Oh my God. Did your kids play sports? Did you ever have to go any of the games or anything?
Yeah. You don't have to worry about that with homeschooling your kids, do you?
No. Well, I
You have
mean,
like
I don't have to worry about that with my kids, so whether they went to school or not. My kid played basketball for 1 year, and like I don't know. The coach must have felt bad or something. Like the end of the season, the very last game, he went out and had like something made for my son, like most improved medal or most improved award or whatever.
Essentially, he did. Your son is the cerebral palsy kid.
Yes. He was like, when we started this season, he was
He couldn't even tie his own fucking laces.
Yeah. He's finally got both shoes on the right feet. Good job, kid.
So my nephews were exceptional at wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
My brother pushed them like way too hard. I think he was like living vicariously through them,
Sure.
But so my nephews and my son are very, very close.
Yeah.
My son decided that he was going to follow in his cousin's footsteps and take over the high school wrestling world.
Okay.
He went to one fucking meet and it was he just kept getting smashed. Like at one point I know I saw his legs go up over the crowd. Like
so he tried to take the record, but he just wasn't good.
yeah, and then he did football as well, but I ended up he enjoyed football, but I pulled him out of it because his grades were suffering. So
Oh.
and I literally mean I went to practice and pulled him out.
Oh, really? I thought they had something where you had to keep good grades or the coach wouldn't let you play or something like that.
Well, the coach's good grades are different than the grades that I expected.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All my son did was that one season of basketball, and then he did BMX once, and I don't know what it's called.
That's when you race the women, right?
Right. I like to try to forget about that. How embarrassing is that? I can't even describe how embarrassing that. Like it just doesn't even make any sense that like that something like that could ever happen. They all had helmets on. How was I supposed to know?
Oh well.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, what else we got here? Sports, huh?
Let's see here. What do you want to talk about today? Do you want to talk about women being stupid?
Yes.
What's this one? Top Trans Medical Association collaborated with castration and child abuse. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I'm gonna pick it.
Okay.
New York City bar that lets patrons destroy stuff isn't safe.
Okay.
Okay, so have you ever paid? I'm sure you haven't because you're fucking boring and you don't leave the house. But are you aware that there are like people will have fundraisers where $20 and you can take a baseball bat and hit this car 3 times, shit like that?
I've heard of things like that, but there's a place near me where it's just a building and you pay. I don't know what it costs or anything like that, but you pay and you go into the room and you put on your hazmat suit and they give you a bat and you just break shit for 15 minutes or whatever. like a rage room or something like that.
Yeah, so that's what this story is about. It's called a break bar,
Okay.
and they have a separate room called the Wrecking Club, where for $169
Oh my God.
you can break 8 electronics and 30 breakables. You and your group.
What the fuck? So weird.
So this girl goes in there, and she is trying to sue the bar because she got hurt.
Oh God.
But the way it's described is that the group of people she went in there with, like she didn't even get a chance to break anything. Somebody picked up a glass and, tossed it up and then hit it with a baseball bat across the room.
Yeah.
and one of the shards went into her hand and cut her tendon to her finger.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Don't they sign a waiver? You would have to think that they would sign a waiver, right? Like if a piece of glass cut your tendon, sorry, like first of all, would you pay $170 to break a bunch of shit?
No.
That's
No.
stupid, right? Don't you think this is just a stupid idea?
Now, old Doug, when Doug was drunk,
Uh-huh.
yes. Because I did that for free. Or
Yeah, well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could just take your $160 and you could buy like 6 times as much junk from the fucking thrift store, take it to your basement, and just smash it all in your basement.
No, I mean, when I used to go into bars and just break stuff. Like,
Yeah, all you paid for was the drinks.
I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was notorious for disassembling bathrooms, and I don't know why.
So weird. Did you bring tool? I hope you had a tool belt that
No,
you carried around.
It was like when I was drunk, I was super impressed with my own strength. And I can remember several times where like the partitions, I would rip them off the wall and then stack them up nicely. So like if there was 3 urinals or three stools, I would take down everything and then just stack it up and walk out of there like,
What? Now they
It's
gotta
so
put this
fucking
back
weird.
Together. That is. Did anybody ever come in while you were like?
oh fuck, I got, yes, like all the time. I mean, I wasn't good or quiet or stealthy. I was like a fucking drunk ogre that just,
What?
I had
Do
a
you
bouncer,
remember the first time? So weird.
a bouncer walk in at a titty club, and I removed the sink from the fucking wall, and he walked in, and I'm sitting there holding the fucking sink. I just know that as he was escorting me out, he had to take me past the table of the guys that I was with, and all I could get out was, "Gotta go."
Head to the Home Depot to get a new sink. Oh my god. Did you used to go to strip clubs a lot, or no?
Oh yeah, there was a period there where I had a buddy of mine whose parents died, and he got a fuck ton of insurance money.
Uh-huh.
And he was young and inexperienced.
Uh-huh.
So he used to like to go to the strip clubs, and he didn't want to go alone. And I liked to drink and didn't have any money.
Uh-huh.
It was a bring your own beer place, so he would pick me up an 18-pack, and then I would just go sit with him, and he would put a bunch of ones up and play with the dancers, and I would just sit there and get shit-faced.
Damn.
But yeah, we did that a lot.
That sounds like a great deal for you. I think I've only been to a strip club like probably 3 or 4 times. It's just not. Seems. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but like
No, it's not.
it's like you put the dollar up and then they like rub their tits in your face or whatever. But like the guy next to you just literally slobbered all over them same titties. Like
I don't care about that. I'll
gross.
share slobber.
So gross.
I went as a much older adult. Like there was a huge span in there where I didn't go anymore, and then I ended up going, and I was now the old person in there. And I was looking at the girl on stage, and like it was just like she's dead inside. Like I'm that never used to bother me. I mean, it used to turn me on, but
that was my thing.
but I'm just sitting there looking at her, and I'm like, I feel fucking gross being here. Like
Right.
this isn't fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it didn't stop me from putting dollars.
Come alive. Come
let
on.
me see your labia.
I never understood the whole bring your own beer thing. Like, there's naked ladies, you can't serve alcohol. Like, those two things don't mix. Those two things mix better than anything I've ever mixed. I don't understand.
It's the just liquor license laws. There
It's
was
stupid. I mean,
so in Iowa, if let me see if I remember, you could have a bar, you could serve alcohol, but then it could only be topless. If you wanted bottomless, then it had to be bring your own.
so stupid.
And then the club that I used to go to all the time, they had it was just a topless on one side. Fuck, it's so confusing. So it was topless on one side where they sold beer, and then it was bottomless on the other side, but you could get to one from the other.
Oh
so
my God.
I
So it's
would
like a loophole in the law.
when I was at my worst, I could consume quite a bit. So if I ran out of beer, then I would stumble over to the topless side and buy a 6-pack for like $50 and bring it back over.
So weird. That's such a weird, like, when they're making laws, like, all right, if you see some gash, no beer. Like, what? Who thinks that that's like a necessary law? It's so
I'm doing my
weird.
part for the public.
Right. And it was like no hard liquor or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, why it should just be like every bar should, like, if a woman wants to get on the bar and dance naked, like, okay. And like every strip club, like, if some guy wants to sell liquor, okay.
None of it really truly makes sense. It's just that you're used to it.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, liquor laws in general, the liquor laws in Illinois, like, or maybe it's not Illinois, I don't remember. One of the states, it's like you can't, as a store, you can't buy liquor from anybody except for like a specified distributor of whatever liquor. It's so weird. And then they have to get like a distributor's license, and they can only sell certain things in certain areas. And it's just like, Jesus Christ.
My parents used to have a friend that owned a liquor store, and I'm trying to. So his name was Donnie. So they would say, "We're going to run out to Donnie's. Do you want to go?" Well, yeah. I mean, 'cause, I'm an
course.
alcoholic, and you're inviting me to drink at a liquor store.
Yes, let's go.
So there was a back room, and while I was there, it was just whatever I want, I could drink. I didn't have to ask.
Wow.
Just didn't matter. And I would get so fucking sloppy drunk with my mom and dad. It would be like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. And I am just fucking shit-faced.
Jesus Christ, man.
Tell them I'd pull over. Pull on, puke.
Once that happens once, don't you would think that they would be like, all right, we're going to have to cut you off, or we're going to have to not invite you next time, or you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, not when you're an enabler.
huh. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. So is that a real thing, an enabler? If you're an alcoholic and like your excuse is that somebody's enabling you, aren't you just an asshole trying to drag other people down?
Let me ask you something a different way.
Okay.
One, I didn't make an excuse. So my mom used to buy me alcohol and then say, I just don't want you driving, so I'm going to give it to you to drink.
Makes sense.
Does it?
Yes.
Like, wouldn't it make more sense? Like, hey, maybe get a job.
No. Well, I mean, okay, if you knew somebody was going to do something bad, but you tried to minimize the damage that they're going to do, are you?
So
the asshole?
you're telling me that you agree with like those methadone clinics and all that shit that's supplying needles to.
That's different.
Oh, is it? 'Cause I didn't realize that. Sorry.
It's different because that doesn't work.
Oh yeah, but my mom feeding me alcohol sure fucking panned out all right.
I plead the fifth. I don't have an opinion on methadone clinics. I did hear somewhere, I don't know that this is true or this is just some conspiracy theory bullshit that I made up. I heard that in San Francisco, the CIA was running the methadone clinics, and that's where they found Charles Manson. Is that true? I have no
probably
idea.
wouldn't trust that source.
I think I'm the source. I think I might have just made that up. Do you think that there was some connection between like government trials with LSD and Charles Manson killing a bunch of people and or like directing people to kill people, all that kind of shit? Do you
No,
think that there was?
I don't think there's any connection between Charles Manson and the government. Like
No?
conspiracy was.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I never really looked into it other than I've heard that. Really? You don't do? Are you serious or are you just fucking with me?
No, I'm serious. Like there's never been any in all my conversations with Chuck. There's never been any mention of any government involvement.
Interesting.
None of the interviews from our family. Nothing.
How awesome would it be if you were related to Charles Manson?
You don't know anything.
Yeah,
You don't know anything about any of that shit, do you?
Nothing. Not at all. I never do any research on any conspiracy theories. I just have a passing fancy, you know.
Charles Manson was caught in Springfield in a methadone clinic, I heard.
Right, exactly. That's him and what's that guy's name? The Unabomber. Weren't they in on it? Bombing cabins in the woods or something like that?
That's a blunt force fact right there.
I literally know nothing. All I know, I learned from last podcast on the left.
And even then, you don't retain any of it.
I don't pay any attention. It's just on in the background. I haven't listened to that show in a really long time. They did an episode about the Nazis, and it was just so like every other sentence that they said, they're like, now we have to reiterate Nazis are bad. Every single thing was like, now you have to understand that we're not trying to glorify Nazis here. But in every other episode, they talk about like serial killers, like eating people's faces and they're laughing and having fun and like just making jokes. And like this one episode, they have to be very clear that we don't like Nazis. I'm like, all right, dude, we get it.
Just to be clear, we are not for wiping out an entire race off the
Right.
face of the earth.
Yeah.
We're not condoning that.
Right. It was just like, Jesus Christ, shut up and be funny about it or something.
So I was kind of wondering, should we put a disclaimer on the front of our episode?
Which one?
Any of them, all of them.
For COVID or something?
What?
I don't know. Well, I mean, that seems to be the popular thing to do. Put like if you want the true facts about COVID, go to this episode. Like, and see if we can get our disclaimer to like dispute the disclaimer that they automatically put on it. That would be funny.
What if our disclaimer is to disclaim the preceding disclaimer?
Yes, it's perfect. Because they put like on Spotify, they put disclaimers on some of our episodes. I don't know how they determine if we just mention COVID. Maybe I'm not sure, but they put like a little like to get the facts about COVID. You call the Joe Biden hotline or whatever, and he'll tell you all about it, or however the fuck they do it. I don't know.
The guy that's dressed up like a girl in the admiral suit, call her.
Yes, right.
So what were you telling me that the swimmer got the man of the year or woman of the year or something
Right.
in sports?
That trans swimmer that beat all the women with the like the even with the drag of his dick still beat all the women.
It's not help. That thing can help steer.
It's like a rudder.
Fucking rudder.
So the NC and
I'm looking it up. NCAA.
NCAA. They nominated this guy for Woman of the Year for sports or whatever, outstanding sports athlete or whatever.
Trans swimmer Leah Thomas nominated for NCAA Woman of the Year award. The University of Pennsylvania athlete shot to fame earlier this year when she became the first man. Thomas shot to fame. Yeah, we already figured that out. But soon after, she became the focus of raging debate when swimming's world governing body.
Raging hard on. She became the focus of a raging hard on.
Her eligibility had come under considerable scrutiny, including from several Penn teammates. Like, how do you think her team, who doesn't even support him, said, like, Woman of the fucking year? Are you fucking kidding me?
Have you even been a woman for a year? I'm not even kidding when I say I hope he wins. If I could vote, I would. How do we do voter fraud on the NCAA, whatever? Like, let's get him in. They take mail-in voting.
Okay, we tried talking about this in the past. There has got to be a sport that I could identify as a woman and dominate. Like, it wouldn't be MMA because they would whip my ass. It wouldn't be basketball because I still have no hops.
I'd like to see you play women's tennis. That'd be kind of fun.
Do I have to do that grunt?
Yeah, that's exactly why I want to see it. So
I could probably dominate in like girls' 6th grade dodgeball.
You should try out. Just go to the local grade school and tell them you want to try out for the dodgeball team. How about golf? You think you can play women's golf?
No, not as good as the women. Like, there's got to be something that I can do as good as a woman.
There's got to be like a cooking competition you can join. Did we talk about? We might have already talked about it. That skateboarder that took the championship away from the girls, and he was like a Marine, and he was like 35 years old or something, and he beat out like 13-year-old or whatever.
You remember yard darts? I was pretty good at that. Do you think there's a league for that?
Yeah, but have you seen those lately? They got like a blunt tip, and they're weighted. There's no point on them anymore. They took those away years ago.
I'm serious. There has to be something that I could do and be better than the professional women.
So
It sucks that we can't think of anything that I can do.
I don't know. I don't know sports. What's that, like ESPN4 or whatever, where they have like the lamest fucking sports?
I bet. No, I was gonna say arm wrestling, but I would have to be. I would still have to be in the heavyweight, and they got like truck drivers and shit.
they have weight classes in arm wrestling.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I didn't realize it was that organized.
Thumb wrestling. What about thumb wrestling?
You should be a professional thumb wrestler.
Change my sex just to dominate that sport and then get nominated for Woman of the Year.
How about bowling?
No, because they're better. Women are better bowlers than me.
Pool?
No, because even the best woman pool player is still better than me.
Jesus Christ, you suck. Are you good at anything? Could you be
No.
how about engineering woman of the year?
No, women are smarter than men.
I think you should try to start a woman of the year engineer, like a woman's camp to get girls involved in engineering, and you should head it up. put a dress on and head up this day at camp for girl engineers or something.
Hold on. How old are we talking?
How old you need them to be, buddy? I don't know. When do girls get interested in engineering? Like in their 40s? I don't know.
Okay, do you think that you should be allowed to hit a woman? We've talked about this in the past, and previously your opinion was no.
Okay. It depends on what you mean by allowed. Like socially, like it's acceptable. Is that what you mean?
I mean, I don't know what I mean. Like the same rules would apply hitting a man or hitting a woman.
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Women are delicate. Men are supposed to protect women, not hit them.
So you're a sexist.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I never denied that. I'm not racist, but I am sexist for sure.
okay. So this article, here are 8 science-backed reasons why women are stronger than men.
Awesome. That sounds sexist to me.
Okay. So if it's true that women are stronger than men, then shouldn't we be allowed to hit them?
Yeah. You got to defend yourself. You're weak. They're telling you you're weak.
All right. Women have a longer life expectancy.
Wait, how does that make you stronger? So I'm dead, so now you're stronger by default? What? That's stupid.
Women's survival skills are just as kick-ass as their management skills.
Oh my God, who the fuck wrote this garbage? If you're writing an article and you use the word kick-ass,
Kick-ass.
that's kick-ass. You're 12. Just shut up.
Women can handle pain better.
Not true.
Bullshit. That is 100% true.
No, it's not.
It is.
As a Jew,
As a Jew? What?
why do we get to make these generalizations that women can handle pain better? There's lots of women who can't handle pain. There's lots of men who can. It's
Because we're talking in majorities.
right.
It is scientifically proven that women handle pain better than men.
How?
Because,
That study wasn't double blind.
okay, if, let's just say hypothetically, there's a chance that if you have sex with your wife,
Yes, there is a
9
chance.
9 months later, you're going to piss out a tennis ball through your urethra.
All right.
You probably wouldn't have sex, right? Or you at least wouldn't allow yourself to get pregnant.
Right. I would get on the pill immediately.
Right, forever. You would not
Forever, right.
knowingly allow somebody to come in you.
Right. Wait.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I think that's just a general rule. Yes. It's a
I will
general
not
rule.
allow this.
I try to live my life by that rule. Yeah, but see, women do it all the time. It's not because they can handle pain better. It's because they're stupid.
They have smooth brains. Okay, this I don't believe. It says they are emotionally stronger. So I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
I have been managing people now for 10 years? And I have had, I would say, 10 women on the other side of the desk crying.
Oh, Jesus.
And only 2 men have I been able to make cry.
Oh, that's hilarious. Who? Do I know them? I need to know who they are.
You know one of them, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was my first time. That was when I popped my cherry.
Did you hug him?
Oh no. I just kept going deeper and deeper. Do
No.
you remember the guy that had Emmy something or other on his license plate?
Yes.
Him.
No.
Tears going down his fucking
Are you
face.
serious? Oh, that's amazing. This is not cut out for everybody, I guess. Wow.
And yes, women are mentally stronger too. Needless to say, we're the more intelligent sex.
This article rules.
We know when to seek help and have no qualms about it. Okay, so here's where I think the article falls apart.
Oh, there?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this article says that they are the more intelligent, stronger, better sex.
Right.
Because they know when to ask for help. insinuating that guys don't know when to ask for help.
Right.
Unfortunately, who do you think it is that they go and ask for help?
Gotta ask their man. Can you open this jar for me? I know I'm a strong corporate lawyer, but I need you to open this jar for me.
And according to this article, they have stronger legs too.
Well, I just threw that in at the end.
Yep.
So isn't this one of those articles where it's like, okay, we're going to write this article. Now, we know this is all bullshit, and we know that everybody knows this is all bullshit, but we need you to go along with it. Like, everybody knows that the majority, like we're talking majority, of men are stronger than the majority of women, right? Like, that's just a known fact. But we're supposed to pretend like it's not a known fact, right? Because it's sexist. It's sexist to think
this article isn't bullshit in its entirety.
Okay. Because their legs are stronger or something?
They have a higher life expectancy. That's fact. They have a higher pain tolerance. That is debatable.
I don't think that's true.
But I think it is.
Yeah. So we're split on that one. But everything else,
I think we can look it up.
How? How could you look up? Okay, pain tolerance. How do you look that up? How can you quantify, quadrify pain tolerance? I don't know which one it is. Quantify.
Acute pain tolerance is more consistent over time in women than men. According to new research, many researchers exclude women from pain studies because they assume that hormonal changes in women lead to more variability over time and less reliability in ratings of pain. Human studies more reliably show that men have higher pain thresholds than women, and some show that men have higher pain tolerance as well. What?
Yeah. See, I was right. Hormones. It's all the women's hormones.
Huh. Anyway, whatever.
So, do you think that it's sexist to say what you said it before that I was sexist because I don't think men should hit women? Do you think that's a sexist point of view?
Yes.
Why?
Separate but equal.
What? What? Okay.
Either they are an equal or they are not an equal.
They're not.
Right, but I say they are.
But they're obviously not. I mean, in several ways, they are not. Not worse, but in several ways,
in several ways, they are.
Yes, or we are not. In several ways, they are better, and in several ways, they are worse. Right? So
it all evens out, right?
No, does it?
Yes.
Who did the math?
I did just now.
Oh, okay. Why does it have to be a scale of better and worse? Why can't it just be different? Right? Why does it have to be sexist to think that you shouldn't hit it? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, women are different. You shouldn't hit them. It's not a sexist statement.
But that's not what you're saying.
I didn't say women are lesser. You shouldn't hit them.
You're not saying you shouldn't hit women because they're different. You're saying you shouldn't hit women because they can't take a fucking right hook.
Yeah, and neither can I, so you shouldn't hit me either. But I mean,
okay, are you saying you shouldn't hit Mexicans?
Well, how you gonna make them work? I mean, if they're not doing their job, somebody's got to hit them.
No, are you going to come out and say you shouldn't hit Mexicans?
No, of course not.
But they're different.
Well, wait, Mexican women, you shouldn't hit Mexican women.
No, Mexicans at all. They're different.
No, I'm okay with hitting Mexicans.
They're different.
No, yeah, different in a different way.
Oh, okay. So we
got like 6 levels of different here. So your position is you either want to punch women in the face or you're a sexist. You're advocating for violence against women, and your argument is sexism. That is amazing to me. I love it.
No, I won't hit a woman. I'm just saying because I'll fucking hurt them. Because they can't take a fucking punch because they're weak.
So you're a sexist.
No, I'm a realist. Like, I won't hit a kid either most of the time.
Well, what do you mean most of the time? What's the cutoff for whether you would
18.
punch a kid? Really?
Yes.
So you're telling me if some fucking jacked 16-year-old started attacking you, you would just like,
Oh, no. I'm saying just for sport, just walking up punching people. Like I won't do that at a grade school.
that's nice of you. So if you were being attacked by what is it, a 16-year-old girl, are you going to hit her if she's bigger than you?
What do you mean by attacked? Well, yes. If somebody's attacking me, I'm going to try to lay them out.
16-year-old girl.
Yes, of course.
Really?
I'm not going to let somebody just fucking lay into me.
What if she's smaller than you?
I'm not going to let somebody lay into me.
What if she hits you and it wouldn't hurt, and you know it wouldn't hurt, and you know that like you could just kind of brush her off, you'd still hit her?
So you started off by saying, and she's bigger than you.
Right. I'm just trying to find your threshold of where you're going to punch a 16-year-old girl.
Are you okay? So one of the worst ass whoopings I ever took was by somebody who was much smaller than me.
Okay.
And I went into that fight thinking that I wasn't going to receive any hit point damage. And he rolled a natural 20 and smoked me. So,
Yeah.
so one of the worst ass whoopings I ever took was from somebody that I assumed I was going to just wipe the floor with him.
Yeah.
So I can't answer the question the way you're asking. If you know she's not going to hurt you, I don't know that.
What if she's 12? What if she's 10? What if she's 8? What if it's a toddler and she can barely walk? You gonna hit her then? She's attacking you. You don't know.
I haven't answered, have I?
Ninjutsu or whatever.
Like, okay, is she in a walker?
No, her legs are fine.
No, I was thinking them little fucking walkers, like with the food tray around it, and they just bounce off you.
She's gonna run over your toe.
No, because I was just thinking I could keep her at bay just by pushing the walker out of the way.
Gotcha.
I'll do everything I can to avoid violence, but if she crawls out of it.
So, all right. So what if the mom is trying to fight you and she's going to throw the baby at you and use the baby as like a projectile? Would you punch the baby away, or would you just kind of try to dodge it?
If somebody was to try to throw a baby at me, I would probably try to catch the baby and then throw it back at him.
Be the hero. Did you say throw it back at him?
Yeah, just like hammer throw, where you do the 3 spins and then
You got to punt it right to their face.
drop kick the baby right to the fucking mom's head.
Shouldn't have threw the baby at me.
Do you think you could get in trouble for that? If somebody throws their baby at you and you catch the baby and throw it back harder, is that self-defense?
Is there yeah, I think so. There's got to be a point where you can just claim like reflex. That's got to be in the law, right? Like if somebody throws something at you, you automatically like curl up into a ball in the fetal position, right? That's the natural progression of things, isn't it?
Okay, so let's say that somebody attacks you with a screwdriver.
Okay.
They throw a screwdriver at you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Once you have the screwdriver, I don't think that you can throw it back at them in self-defense because now you have the weapon and they don't.
Right. But what if it's stuck in your forehead and you see that they have another screwdriver? Can you pull that screwdriver out of your forehead and use that as a weapon to defend yourself from the other screwdriver?
What do they have, a Phillips or a standard?
The one that they threw at you was a Phillips and it's stuck in your head.
Okay. So then yes, because they still have the sharper of the two. Is it a number 2 Phillips?
I don't know. Didn't have time to check. I just pulled it out of my forehead. Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand self-defense laws well enough to be able to answer that question. I think once you have the weapon, like you're supposed to run or something. I don't know. Don't you think they always talk about those stand your ground laws or whatever? Don't you think that stand your ground law should be like just a universal thing?
Well, I do.
I asked you. Who else do you think I asked?
Well, there's people that don't think that at all. But yeah, of course I think that you should be able to stand your ground.
What kind of person thinks that you shouldn't be able to stand your ground while you're being attacked? Idiots, right? Like, I mean, what sort of person would be like, no, just give them your shit and run away?
You used to be like that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said, and I quote, hold on, I got it here. You said, and I quote,
rustling noises.
I quote, there is no material items worth a human life, end quote.
That does sound like something I would say.
Yes.
All right, yeah, I changed my mind.
I've convinced me.
I've convinced myself stand your ground laws are stupid. Oh my God. Since we started this show, I've changed my mind on several things. That's not one of them, but I feel like this show has I don't know, maybe opened my eyes, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Opened my mind. I don't know.
Why do you think that is? Just talking through things?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just talking through things and realizing that when you believe something, but you never really examine why you believe it, you've just always thought that way. And then you start talking through, even in a stupid way with stupid scenarios, you start talking through your own beliefs and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so there are things that we've beaten the abortion topic.
Right.
I mean, we've just sucked that out of the atmosphere with a vacuum cleaner.
Right.
But I still honestly don't know what I think. Like, I know that I think that abortion is murder.
Right.
And I also think it should be legal, which doesn't make sense to me.
I feel like I'm being more solidified on the topic of abortion just because of the way that I see people act, right? I think a lot of these decisions, you have to be able to filter them through what is this going to do to your society? Because that's what you want, right? You want to, yes.
No.
If you're making moral decisions, you need to think about how that moral decision is going to affect the society that you want to live in.
That's not how moral decisions work.
Absolutely it is.
It is absolutely not. A moral, you get your morals. You already have your morals. So there's no decision to be made. You can't decide if you are for or against abortion. You just are.
What? What are you talking about? You don't think that you can decide? Like, so if somebody makes a better argument, you can't change your mind? That's deciding.
It's not like you're sitting there thinking McDonald's or Hardee's. I don't know. I like the McDonald's fries, and they're also going to suck a baby out of this woman's vagina. When I say, what's your view on abortion? You may not be able to articulate it, but you have an inner thought where you know whether you think it is murder or not murder.
Right.
And then you start processing through other shit.
Yes.
Okay, so do I think that because this little fucking embryo is a leech on the mom, that the mom should decide whether or not she can cut the cord and suck it out?
Yeah. That's a societal issue.
Right. But what was the other word?
I don't know.
The other issue, moral. The moral issue is something that is inside of you. It is not something that you can make a decision on. It is, you have your morals.
Is that? I don't think you're right about that.
No. Okay. No, I know I'm right. This isn't me just blowing smoke or me trying to extend the show for another 3 minutes so we can hit our hour. Okay. Why haven't you cheated on your wife? Did you decide not to?
I mean,
Or hold on. Have you cheated on your wife?
No.
Okay. Why?
I mean,
did you make a decision that you're not going to cheat on her? Or do you just...
Motive means an opportunity. Let's start with the third one. It's opportunity. Nobody wants to fuck me. Are you kidding me? Did I make a decision not to cheat on my wife? Yes. When I married my wife, I made the decision not to cheat on her. That's how it works.
No, I'm talking like today.
Yeah, I suppose, yes.
No, you didn't. It is just not something that is in your moral fiber. You're just not going to do it.
Right.
Right. That it's not a decision. It is part of who you are. That's your morals.
You're not right about that though. Like
I am.
if you have your morals and you say I would never cheat on my wife, it's because of my morals, and then there's a whore that walks by and says, "Hey, can I suck your cock?" And you say, "No, I'm married." You just made a decision. You decided not to cheat on your wife. Though you make decisions based on your circumstances.
No, there was never a decision to be made. You weren't going to cheat on your wife.
Right.
Just because you answer somebody's question doesn't mean you made a decision. You made that decision.
When I married my wife, like I said,
your morals made that decision for you.
I don't think you understand what morals means. Like what morals are. Like morals vary from society to society. It's basically a societal norm.
No, that's ethics.
Okay, same thing. I don't know.
No, it's not.
All right, so what are morals and where do they come from then?
Morals are typically religious based.
Right, but I'm not religious. So then where do my morals come from?
You don't have any. You're a piece of shit.
So where do your morals come from?
I don't have any, even when I was religious.
You think morals come from religion and ethics come from society?
Well, I did up until I just read this paragraph here. According to this understanding, ethics leans towards decisions based upon individual character and the more subjective understanding of right and wrong by individuals, whereas morals grow in, emphasizes the widely shared communal or societal norms about right and wrong.
Huh, crazy how it works that I'm right most of the time. Even when I'm just talking bullshit, I'm right.
Bye.
Bye.
What were we talking about?
Abortion again for some stupid reason. So just to move away from abortion, like I said, I've changed my mind on several things. I used to be a big proponent of a minimum wage that I thought was, felt like $15 hour minimum wage was something that I thought was a great idea. I have drastically changed my mind on that. Just because of talking through these ideas, even in a stupid way, makes me re-examine what I really think.
Okay. You're wrong.
Did I make a statement? Okay.
Yes, you did make a statement. You think that they're okay. Let's talk through it. I don't think we've talked about minimum wage in 3 weeks. Let's do that.
Right.
Okay, so you don't think that there should be do you think there should be a federal minimum wage?
No.
You're an idiot.
Okay.
What about the chemicals in the water? Who's going to stop that?
The guy that makes minimum wage. Okay. Let's take this one step at a time. Do you think there should be a federal minimum wage?
Yes.
What should it be?
It's an arbitrary number that I haven't landed on yet, but I'll start with 15 and we can go from there, only because that's popular.
Okay. Why not 17?
What?
Why,
okay, hold on. No. I'll tell you what I think the minimum wage should be. Hold on a second. I've got to do some fucking math.
Okay. Okay.
What's that called? God, my fucking brain ain't working today.
This is a good time to figure out minimum wage then.
Federal. What's that fucking called when you're poor?
Poverty?
Poverty line. Poverty line. Okay. Okay, so according to this, my minimum wage needs to be based on how many kids you got.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
So how many kids do you have?
2.
All right. And you're, plus your wife, that's 3. So your person and family, 4, 26. Okay. The minimum wage should be divided by, we'll go 52 divided by 40. $13.25 an hour.
Why?
Okay, $13.26 an hour, because that would put you 40 hours a week, 52 weeks a year. That would put you above the poverty guideline.
What's the poverty guideline?
$26,000
I'm not asking you how much it is. I'm asking you what it is.
The poverty threshold, Anthony, is the original version of the poverty measure.
Oh. Can you give me the updated version? I don't want the original. I want the updated. What is the poverty threshold? What does that mean? How do they calculate that? Do they take like just a random black family and how much money do you make?
Oh, that one hurt.
Sorry, but
Okay. Fuck. What does the poverty line mean?
this is a little more difficult than you thought, isn't it?
What? All right, here we go. The poverty threshold, poverty limit, poverty line, or bread line is the minimum level of income deemed adequate in a particular country. The poverty line is usually calculated by finding the total cost of all the essential resources that an average human adult consumes in 1 year. Okay. Does that make sense to you now?
I think so.
Okay. So you need $13.26 an hour
Okay, but that doesn't
to buy bread.
But that's a federal minimum wage of $13.26 an hour. Now, if you take that and you want to look up numbers, why don't you look up the average rent in San Francisco and then look up the average rent in probably the whole state of Oklahoma and tell me that $13.26 an hour will work in both of those places?
No.
No, because you know that it's not right.
No. You asked me a question. I gave you an answer. So unlike
a
you,
wrong answer.
unlike you, so you're saying there should be no federal minimum wage.
Right.
So
if
you think
like
that's
how much money you if you don't like how much money you make, go find another job where they pay you more.
Then why doesn't that work with the $13.25 an hour minimum wage in San Francisco? If you don't like it, move to fucking Oklahoma. What's the fucking difference?
Because in Oklahoma, they're only paying you $13 also. That's what I'm saying. Once they set the minimum, that's the standard. There shouldn't be a standard. What the work that you do should be, you get paid for what your employer thinks you're worth.
Do you know why there's a minimum wage?
Because
if it wasn't, they would go lower.
Yeah, exactly. And when they went lower, prices would go down.
No, you're dumb.
No. So what happens?
You really think that if the minimum wage went down to, what is it now, like $7 an hour?
Yes.
If it went to $6 an hour, you really think that they'd pass that savings on to the fucking customer? Or they'd put it in their pocket?
No, they wouldn't. They don't do that. That's not how business operates.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
So the point that I'm trying to make is if let's say, okay, $13 an hour would make everything better for every family, right? Like that's it.
No, I didn't say it would make everything better. It doesn't clear anything up. I'm saying if the federal threshold for the poverty level for a family of four is that you have to make $13 an hour, then just pay that.
So how much money you make when you apply for a job, they have to put on the application how many kids do you have? That's how much we're going to pay you.
Yes.
And you don't
And
think
then
that's ridiculous.
And if one of your kids gets shot in a drive-by, then you lose.
You lose a proportion of your money.
Yes. That would stop drive-bys. Like people would keep their kids at home.
Hold on. So, can I, as a father, abandon my children and still get paid the hourly credit for having them?
Oh.
So I have to live with them.
Yes.
Well, that sucks. So how do they verify?
They come to your house and check.
And who gets paid to do that, and how much do they get paid? And who checks the checker? Do you see where your thinking starts to fall apart pretty quick here?
My thinking doesn't fall apart. Because obviously I was bullshitting about if your kid dies in a drive-by that you lose $4 an hour.
Oh, no, that's the best part of your plan.
I'm just saying.
Sorry your kid died. We got to take money away from you.
No, because if I was a boss, I'd be killing people's kids to save money.
That would be awesome. I would have a position in my company as a kid killer. Just cost savings measure.
As anti-government and anti-business as you used to be, I can't understand how you are now advocating for trying to generate profits for big business.
How? Wait. I guess I was anti-business. Okay, I'm anti-business and anti-government, but the best way to
What about our roads?
the best way to handle all of this is just to remove government from the situation completely. Right now we have government and business colluding. If we can at least get rid of the collusion, it's better. It's better than nothing.
Okay, let's say, for instance, that the next thing that happened, next executive order is Biden gets rid of the federal minimum wage.
Yes.
What do you think happens? Okay. I would be okay with getting rid of the federal minimum wage if there was a mandatory state minimum wage based on the county minimum wage.
Like enforced by the federal government or
No, because I know that if you got rid of all mandatory minimum wages, that all of a sudden they would start colluding and start going down in wages. It's not like they're going to pay more to get you to work there. That's been proven time and time again.
And you think that is a winning strategy, and you think that people who are in business will just pay you less and less and less.
Yes,
and then you can't until you literally can't afford to live, and then they have no workers. Right? Is that the winning strategy that you think it is? So if you're paying somebody
it seemed to work.
Hour,
it seemed to work for every business throughout the fucking history of the fucking world.
Right.
Why do you think unions came to be? Because businesses were trying to pay as little as possible and make their workers do as much as possible.
That's still the goal. If you run a business, isn't that the goal?
No, the goal is to care about people.
Is it? Is it though?
It is when they're listening to you talk on a podcast.
So I think I would be okay with no federal minimum wage and a state by state minimum wage. I'm okay with that. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we have.
I agree with that. So then is the state minimum wage based on the most populated part of the state? Like is Illinois state minimum wage based on Chicago?
Yes, please. That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm good with that.
How about we go with county by county? I just came up with that idea right now.
That was a great idea.
I think they called that like what the hell did they call it? Like it wasn't a minimum wage, it was a livable wage. There was like some sort of a calculation for each part of the country. Like this is what it takes to live in this country, bare minimum or whatever. So it's such a hard thing to try to figure out.
The livable wage in Kansas is $13.75 an hour.
Awesome. What is it in Illinois? Could you live on $13.75?
Not at all. Okay, so you by yourself, a living wage is $19.29.
Man, I need to move to Kansas.
With two adults and one child, $19.75 an hour.
Wow.
That gets fucked.
So is there like a in their algorithm or whatever, is there a keto setting? Because it's really expensive to eat keto. What's the livable wage plus keto?
Keto factor.
1975, right? Is that what it is for me and like my wife and a kid?
Yep.
Wow. Hi, that's crazy. Does that mean that? So you couldn't live just you, no kids, no wife, just yourself. You don't think you could live on $13.50 or whatever you said?
Hold on, I got to see how many hours a week am I working.
I don't know. I mean, that was the other factor, 40. Let's go start with 40. But I mean, most people don't.
$540 a week. So by myself.
Uh-huh.
Am I living in the same place I'm living now?
I mean, that's up to you.
I can't afford it.
Oh, well, then I guess that makes the decision for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. So 540 times for $2,000. I mean, yeah, I could live off that. It would be boring, but
Really? You think? Like you? I don't understand the where you would get it would be boring.
because I wouldn't have any money for whores and shit.
But like, okay, let's just say, assuming you already have all the stuff that you have now, like you get to carry that over into your new lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You don't have to like rebuy all your shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. So $2,100 a month.
Yeah, and you get like this isn't happening for like 3 years, so you get to stock up on all the shit you need. Go ahead, stock up on all the toys that you need, and then you're done.
Yeah, that wouldn't be an issue.
Interesting.